YouTube, what is good? We are back for another episode of Marvin's Room, man. Thank you guys so much for joining me wherever you're at in the world. I'm always grateful and humble that you guys continue to join me and rock with me on this journey. Continue to stay locked in because I'm going to be doing more giveaways for coaching sessions with me, giveaways for my tapping course to manifest the SP, money, different things like that. So guys, stay locked in. Continue to like, comment, and subscribe because that's how I'm choosing winners to all of those people who are tuned in. And let's keep growing on this journey together. I'm very happy. So let's get into today's video. I want to talk to you guys today about what to do if visualizing is hard, because I know visualizing is hard for a lot of you guys, but understand that this isn't necessarily a bad thing. Understand that there's a reason we have 5 senses, so I want you guys to be able to use, the other 5 senses, or the other, 4 senses that you guys have to be able to help with visualizing. So what I mean by that is, if you guys are finding it hard to close your eyes and to see whatever it is that you want to manifest, whether it's, money, SP is a really big thing. For instance, let's talk about SP. You try to close your eyes, you can't visualize. That's okay. What you can do is you can feel your SP's presence. Close your eyes and feel their presence. You know what their presence feels like. You know that energy that's in the room, because as you guys already know, everything's energy. Everything is in motion. It's already created. It's already moving. So your SP has a specific type of energy. So embody that energy when you do your visualization or when you close your eyes. Feel what that energy feels like. Feel what it feels like to touch their hand, to rub their face, their smell. All of these things you can do to help enhance your visualizations, whatever it is that you're doing, because as you guys know, feeling is what really creates the reality. It's not even necessarily, visualizations. It's not necessarily affirmations. Visualizations are so powerful because you can try to see the images of what it is that you want. But you can try to see these images or say affirmations a lot of times all you want. But if there's no feeling behind, what it is that you want to manifest, it's going to take longer, most likely, for you to manifest whatever it is that you want to manifest. So I want you guys to understand that everything has a presence. Doesn't matter if it's your SP, doesn't matter if it's money, doesn't matter if it's a car, doesn't matter if it's a house, your perfect job. Everything has a presence. So embody that presence. What does that feel like to have $1 million, even though you can't see it in your bank account? What does that feel like? What does that feel like to have the perfect life, to wake up every day and do what it is that you love? What does that presence feel like? Feelings and using your emotions, like hearing, touching, tasting. Maybe your SP has a specific taste. You know what I mean? I don't know. Obviously, but maybe they have a specific taste. You know what I mean? Maybe they have a specific smell. Hear their voice, whether it's deep, whether it's light, whether it's high pitch. Hear their voice, feel their presence. And this is what I want you guys to do if you can't visualize, because these things are just as important to enhancing the visualization process. So I don't want to hear the excuse, because I hear so many people say things like, oh, I can't visualize. I can't see them. Okay, maybe you can't see them. That's all good and well. But you definitely know what their voice sounds like. Hear their voice when you close your eyes. Don't try to visualize them. Just close your eyes and hear their voice and feel what that feeling sounds like to hear their voice tell you, I love you, or whatever the case may be. Feel what their hands feel like. Smell what they smell like. Close your eyes and imagine what they smell like, because all of these things are very vividly stored in a lot of our senses, because it's your SP, you love them, you care about them. So you guys know exactly how to get your other senses involved. So for people that have trouble visualizing, I highly encourage you to get your other senses involved if your imaginal faculties are not working the way you would like them to work. Now, number 2, Something else you guys can do is get out of third person. You guys can get out of third person and start to see your SP, or start to do your imaginal scene, whether it's manifesting money or a new job. Start to see yourself in third person as if you were watching a movie. Because a lot of you guys say you have trouble visualizing whatever your end scene is through your eyes, which is okay. Again, you don't need to, like I told you guys before, I can't stress this enough. There is no one size fits all to all of this stuff. I know you're going to run into some hardcore Neville fans or some hardcore Abraham Hicks fans or some hardcore Joseph Murphy fans, and they're going to tell you, oh, this is the only way. Guys, listen, there's over 7 billion people in the world. There's no way you can come to me and tell me that one technique is going to work for all 7 billion people. It's not true. It's not going to happen. So understand that when people tell you, oh, you got to visualize yourself from first person, you don't have to do it that way. I remember my good friend Agnes, she interviewed a guy, I believe he was an actor, and he did not do his visualizations from first person. He did his visualization, I think, of being in a role in a show or a movie. I forget, because it's been a while since I've seen the interview. But he did his visualizations from being in third person. He actually watched himself as if he was watching a movie or a TV show, acting out the scene. And so I want you guys to understand, this is another way that you can do this. If you want to be with your SP, if you want to have that dream job, imagine watching yourself on television. Imagine watching yourself in a movie theater, watching your character play out that role of how they would be doing, what they would be doing, what they would be saying, what they would be wearing. Imagine that, and then tell yourself that's you, and embody that feeling, because this is still super powerful. This is still super, super powerful in order to help manifest what you want. And so many people like Neville, or so many Neville people say, no, you have to actually be first person. You have to be in the scene. That works for some. Again, it may not work for others. So try this out, guys. If you've been living in your end scene and you've been finding it hard to see out of your own eyes and to actually be in that scene, take a step back and say, okay, no, I'm going to watch myself. I'm going to create a character of myself. I'm going to watch that scene every night. I'm going to watch that TV show every night, because that's the character I want to be. If there's a movie you've ever watched or seen, and you really like the character and that's how you want to be, imagine yourself being that character. Watch that character via third person and say, that's who I am. Maybe watch it even in the physical. Watch that movie in the physical realm and just say, that's me, and embody that role. And it could still happen the same way, because like I said, the guy that was the actor, he manifested being in the movie or a TV show, whatever it was, by doing that, you know? So everything ain't for everybody, man. Everything works differently. Now, number 3, what I want you guys to try to do is try to control your end scene in a different way. So again, this goes back to saying, maybe you've been trying to, for instance, you've been trying to manifest a specific person, right? And you put your, and you're like trying to imagine yourself with a ring on, et cetera, and that's not working. What you may want to do is, instead of trying to imagine that scene, if that scene is hard to imagine, maybe what you want to do is go to another scene, create another end scene, implying that what you want has already come to fruition. And one of the easiest ways to do this, to me, is via phone, and via using like scenes involving your phone and involving people you love and you know. Because, for instance, we are all on our phones. Most of us are on our phones all the time. You know, so many people are on their phones. We know what our phones feel like. We know what it feels like when our phones vibrate. We have our best friends. We have our family. We know what they sound like. We know their presence, et cetera, et cetera. So what I want you guys to practice doing is, instead of living in your end scene of being with your SP and trying to do that via, looking first person, create an end scene where you and your SP, create an end scene where you are texting or talking to one of your friends or good family members on the phone, and they're congratulating you about getting back together with your SP. Try something like that, because now you're taking the pressure off of trying to have your end scene come to fruition, because I know a lot of you guys put unnecessary pressure on your end scenes, and then you guys start to think, am I doing this right? I've been visualizing me with my SP for X amount of time, and I feel like nothing's happening. Understand the bridge of incidents is always in action. Bridge of incidents is always working, even when you don't see it. That's something you guys got to always remember. And so what I want you guys to do is I want you to create a different end scene possibly. If you're having a hard time visualizing you and your SP walking, holding hands, doing that sort of thing, whether it's third person or whether it's first person via your eyes, use your other senses. Once again, like I said earlier, hear your best friend, hear your mother, hear your father, hear whoever, congratulating you, saying things like, wow, I can't believe he really came back. It's been a year. I didn't think it would happen. Or, wow, unbelievable. You stayed persistent. You deserve it. Hear, feel, use your other senses other than your imagination. Because like I said, you don't need to be able to visualize to manifest, because the most important thing is the feeling. So if you can feel that presence of your best friend, if you can feel that presence of your mother or whoever it is, and you can smell them, what they would smell like. You can feel them hugging you, saying congratulations. You know what I mean? If you can capture those feelings, you can very well capture those feelings without visualizing. You can definitely. So capture those feelings and hearing them telling you that sort of thing. And that also, too, will get you great results. You will get great results doing that. Okay, guys? So these are 3 tips I wanted to jump on here and share with you guys to kind of help you on your manifesting journey. And also, too, you guys already know about scripting. You guys can script, read it out once or twice a day. What I like to do is I used to read it out, put my hand on my heart, and I used to put the paper that I script, on my heart, and I used to just feel like my heart was soaking up the paper that I scripted. I used to put the paper on my heart, and I just feel like it soaked up my heart and said, oh man, isn't it wonderful? Everything that I scripted came true. Isn't it wonderful? Without necessarily visualizing, just getting into the feeling and the embodiment of, man, everything that I wrote down on this paper came true. Isn't that so wonderful? That's another technique that you guys can do with scripting as well. And it feels good. Again, these are things that you can do if you're having trouble with visualizing. All right, guys, I just want to jump in here and give you these quick tips. I hope this definitely helped you. And I will see you guys next time. You know where, you know when.